comment below, and let's see if this is working. It's been a little bit slow starting the last few lives, so I'll give it a minute. Yeah, I don't think it's kicking in yet. But welcome. Let's see. Not showing up here. If you're watching this in the replay, you can just skip ahead 30 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, we're live. Welcome to the Alkaline Vegan Podcast number 25. Today we're talking about love versus evil. I was debating what to name this video, but the message is very clear. So I was gonna call it Christ versus Antichrist, but then I thought, no, that's gonna give people the wrong idea. But I'm gonna mention, hello, Falah, salam as well. So I wanna mention about love. What is love? Then I was gonna title the video, What is Love? But then the first thing that comes up is, baby, don't hurt me. So that wasn't a good title. So I want to talk about what is love. I want to talk about what is Christ and what is Antichrist, which that sounds very, bear with me on that one, hang with me, because that sounds not like what it is going to be. So it's going to be good. So stick around to the end. I want to play a clip, an audio clip that I found that was really powerful from someone. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So, and if I forget, then make sure to remind me at the end, because I have to pull that one up on my iPad. So let's first talk about what is love, because I'm not talking about affection. I'm not talking about lust. In this video, I'm not talking about sexuality or that kind of thing. Companionship, I'm not that kind of love. So I want to talk about this because it's really powerful and really important. But, you know, when we talk about love and little hearts and stuff like that, I think the message is being lost. I think a lot of people don't know what love is, even, you know, through their life. So luckily, I've had some experiences which opened up my eyes or opened up my heart, whatever you want to call that, to what love really is. And it's not what I think people think it is. So, you know, that's why I'm making a video about it. If everyone thought of love the right way, then why would I bother? This is a really powerful topic, and the love that I'm talking about is power. And this energy, this power, it's not about hugging someone or caring about someone like that. That's different. That is like empathy or sympathy. I understand those feelings too, but what I'm talking about here is like the energy, the power of everything, like the Force in Star Wars, but that's dumb. So compared to what this is big. Or infinitely big and infinitely small, no real size, but it's not really like when you hug someone, you feel oxytocin release. It takes, I've heard it takes like 20 seconds of hugging, like cuddling almost, and then your body releases chemicals, natural ones, that make you feel something, makes you feel good. And that's a hug is great. First, well, I take that back. If you see me in public, don't hug me. No, I'm not. But jokes aside, hugs are, maybe you should hug me. Anyway, our culture is not really. I've lived in Asia where there's no hugging, there's no there's no really touching. It's just bowing, but I actually like that. So I'm not talking about like touchy feely affection. I'm talking about something deep at the core of our body. It's physiological. And yeah, the oxytocin is physiological. There are other hormones, other endorphins, and things like that that get released depending on the situation. I'm not going to talk about stuff like that, but what I want to talk about are the chakras. And I know that that sounds like, ooh, chakras, but it really does have a lot of meaning. And it's just because it's in another language doesn't mean it's mystical or magical or something like that. It's based in reality. It's not just some kind of fantasy. All right. So when you align your chakras, what are the chakras? It's basically an energy in your body. So of course we have energy in our body. I mean, how else am I moving around right now? You can't deny the energy. So we don't have equal energy all over our body. You know, sometimes your head feels weird or sometimes your stomach feels weird. I mean, you go through different things when you're alive and, you know, life happens. Life is rough. And thank you for all the thumbs ups, by the way. Wow, thank you. Life, you know, you get bruised up, you get bumped around, mentally, physically, things happen. So how do we get to this state? Because I associate love with the heart chakra, which is the solar plexus. It's the solar plexus. And, you know, for me, especially a few years ago, more than a few, maybe like 10 years ago, I'm talking. You know, I'm a martial artist. Well, maybe you didn't know. I'm a martial artist and stuff like that. So I've, you know, been bruised and whatever else. My body, I try to take care as best as I can now, especially. But it's not that easy. Sometimes when you get into a funk, it can be physical and you don't realize it's physical. And you can think that there's something mentally wrong, but then if you align yourself physically, wow, powerful results can be experienced. And in other videos, I talk about body, mind, spirit. We're holistic, we're multifaceted beings. So this video, you know, I might mention all of them. Just keep that in mind that there's different people sometimes need different healing. Not everyone needs physical healing. Some people need mental healing. Some people need spiritual healing. So I just thought I'd throw that out there too. Physically though, I know from experience that you have to really take care and get into the groove, like your habits and everything. Doing yoga once is probably not gonna unlock it for you. It might. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but you're probably gonna have to, you know, it's like brushing your teeth. Do you do it just once in your life? No, you have to keep doing it. So things like, I just mentioned yoga just in passing, but things like yoga or the stretching, different stretching routines I have on my channel, it doesn't have to be yoga, but I'm using yoga because it's a perfect example. And the chakras, you know, yoga is supposed to give you strength and flexibility, more oxygen into your body. So what happens through our body, the chakras, if you didn't know, there are 7, and the base is in where you sit. Like the seat, if you put your pelvis straight up and down, the seat of it, like there are two bones on your pelvis, and then right in the middle is between your, I think if you looked it up, it would say between the anus and genitals, but I can't say that without snickering because I'm still 13 years old. Anyway, it's called the Kundalini in whatever language that is. And it's a coiled up energy. It's a, like the DNA is twisting. Like in nature, some things are spinning, like the earth is rotating not only on its axis, but also around the sun. So we are also kind of rotating. There's these spinning energies, and sometimes you can feel them if you do Tai Chi, martial arts, yoga, meditation for years probably, but you know, it's different for everyone. Some people might be quicker than others, but these energies can be lined up, and they can also be out of whack, so to speak. And that can be because maybe your body is out of place, like you slept on a log or something and you know, pinched a nerve or displaced a vertebra or sprained a muscle. I mean, there's tendons, there's ligaments, there's muscles, there's nerves, all kinds of things that are bundled up together in here, and they're not always functioning optimally. So, of course, I have, you know, my videos are usually about the solution to that. But right now I'm just talking about it itself. And all the solutions for this can be found on my channel or in my program. But some people don't even know what's wrong with them. And some people don't know there's something physical. What can you expect when you align your chakras? I have a book about chakras on my bookshelf, and yeah, it's hard to read in English because it just sounds so corny and stupid sometimes. The way they word things, it sounds like it's just bogus. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you for commenting. I appreciate that. So some of this chakra talk can sound really bogus and weird, but from experience, I can say there is something there. So there is value there to pay attention to. Even if at first it seems like mystical or something like that, I think it's rooted in science, and I think that, you know, people can study this. I'm sure there are studies already, because you know, human beings have been around for hundreds of millions of years, and we've figured out a lot of things. I know that like modern science wants you to believe that, oh, we were just more ignorant cavemen before, and now now we have electricity, and ooh, we're so special, aren't we? Most of the good things that humans had existed tens of thousands, if not longer, years ago. So I don't think we're any farther advanced now, like most people think. Yeah, certain things are advancing and certain things aren't advancing. Health is one of the things that's going backwards, while, you know, skyscrapers or like architecture or maybe aeronautics or something like that might be expanding. However, all of that stuff existed, and even there are writings from that are supposedly tens of thousands of years old from India with a guy with, well, a guy, I guess, God or a guy, I'm not sure what, I'm not an expert on that, but he was flying around in a flying machine. And these fundamental physics are available to anyone. Tesla invented free energy via wireless, Wi-Fi, basically electricity that would be free. And he invented that 100 years ago. So where is it if we're so advanced? Well, if it is capable to be done now, it was capable to be done 1,000,000 years ago. Now let that sink in for a minute. Internet, if it was capable now, it was capable 100,000 or 1,000,000 years ago. Internet is right. Where is it? Is it this, or is it the hardware? So there was different hardware, but the pyramids supposedly were electrical power plants. Tesla figured this out. There are water channels under the ground, and then the pyramid was like a tower, and on top was a gold cap. And the vibration, somehow, they found like a copper metal cable running in the very center of the pyramid. And some people say that was just like Tesla made a tower at the World's Fair, and he did this 100 years ago. Oh, my video is glitching. But this was done 100 years ago, and then they scrapped it because he went bankrupt, and they scrapped that tower and ripped it down and sold it. No joke. So what I'm saying is that we are advanced inside, and you don't need some device to be advanced. I also heard that a guy I saw on the internet years ago, there was a guy that supposedly figured out one of Tesla's inventions, or he had figured out how they could have possibly moved the pyramid stones without people or big machines. Some guy figured out a way with vibration. It's all about vibration. It's all about vibration. And our body is like an antenna. He talks about this in Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill talks about, and that was 100 years ago too. So this might sound new, but maybe it's just not being talked about. So in Think and Grow Rich, he talked about a doctor, I think his name was Rhine. He studied the brain. He was one of the first people to really heavily study the brain, and they figured out that we're basically a antenna for vibrations. We have a sense, a sixth sense, that can pick up through the hairs. You know, what is sound? How are you listening to me right now? The sound waves, vibrations, are coming through the air. They're going into your ear, they're going into your inner ear, and there are little hairs in there. On the other end of the hair, inside the ear, is a nerve connected to the hair. The hair vibrates, and the nerve becomes an electrical impulse. Then it changes from a vibration to an electrical impulse. It goes through your brain and you hear it. I know that's too nerdy for most people to care about, but it's all vibration anyway. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's all vibration. So our body has to, our antenna, you know, a lot of people say it's the pineal gland is the, you know, top of it. And we're like a beacon for vibrations. But what happens if you damage the antenna or if you mess up the hardware? It's not going to function properly. And what's going to mess it up? What's going to clog up the circuit? If you know, I mean, like if you think electricity, it's a circuit. It has to flow. If something gets stopped, then it won't work. For example, if my arm gets cut, then, you know, cut off, I wouldn't be able to wiggle my fingers anymore. I hope that doesn't happen, but That's my point. It has to be, your nerves have to be connected or they short circuit. So a lot of people are short circuiting and having brain fog, mental problems. Constipation is another short circuit. It's down, your gut is part of the circuit. Your Kundalini is right down under it. And I don't know the other names of them in whatever language that was, but I do know some of the names of them in different languages. Because I've been around the world and I studied meditation here and there, and one of the centers, I don't know what it's called in English, but there's another center below the belly button, and that is like the power of your hips. We learned in martial arts, it's all in the hips, just like in Happy Gilmore. It's all in the hips. So you have a lot of different power centers in your body. And you have a lot of energy in there that is, you could be tapping into it. It's not, the energy doesn't necessarily come from calories. Let me say that again. Your energy doesn't necessarily come from calories. What? That's probably bursting some people's bubble. Nuh-uh. Well, why are people burning calories and can't lose weight? And why are people not healthy and the calories are written on the label? Because that's irrelevant. But anyway, what is relevant is electricity. And the calories, depending on what they are, could be blocking the electricity. So people that are, shoveling things like toxic things like rancid oils, hybrid foods, chemicals, meats, dairy, stuff like that, that's just becoming a disgusting toxic paste yeah, I know that's too gross for most people, but let me see, how can I sugarcoat this? Imagine a circuit board, like your motherboard on your computer. I don't know much about that kind of stuff, but I know if you pour water on it, it's gonna break. Or if you blob mayonnaise on it, it's gonna malfunction. So that's kind of what it's like to eat non-electric foods. What it does, it goes in and it doesn't come out. It goes in and it doesn't come out. That's what, it's obvious in hindsight. When you figure it out, biochemistry, then you can see what's going on with people. And the sicknesses don't come from the boogeyman floating through the air. Sorry to say. They come from what you put in, or if you, got your arm or something, if you've got a blunt trauma to the physically. Hello, Ingris. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. So, of course, we want to keep our arms and legs intact. That's obvious. But then people kind of lose sight of their internal health. And they got disconnected from the antenna that is your third eye, the pineal gland. And I have some other videos from years ago about opening the third eye, how to activate the pineal gland, that kind of thing. But to bring it back to love, don't worry, there is a purpose to this. Because when you get these all connected, when I was years ago, my body was, getting roughed up just doing kickboxing and stuff like that, martial arts. And I was learning yoga, doing meditation, and things like that to help with it. Because, you get sore, you get bruised up, you get injured when you're doing anything active. especially martial arts where you're getting punched and kicked. And back in the day, there weren't fancy, like I went back to Taekwondo recently when I moved to a new area, and they were wearing like full, like their entire body was like bubble wrapped. It wasn't like that back in the day. We got punched and kicked. I mean, you name it, choked, kicked in the groin. It's all part of the training. So I was doing yoga and stuff like that to feel better, because from getting banged up and being sore from exercising. And I wasn't necessarily doing it to get enlightenment or to feel love. It was an accident. It was an accident to unlock my heart chakra. And I've only learned about that since then. And in hindsight, I went, oh, that happened to me. Exactly that. So I didn't necessarily know what to call it when it happened. There wasn't someone I could go talk to about it. That's why I took meditation classes and stuff like that, because I wanted someone to ask, what are some of these things that I've experienced? It's hard to find, because, you know, it's hard to find people with, you know, a lifetime of dedicated to yoga or something like that. In this day and age, you're brainwashed to be a banker or something and not a yogi. However, I think you can tell by the way I look recently that which direction I'm going. Well, I'm going both directions. Banker, yogi. I'm just joking. So these energy centers, it flows through your body, up and down. Oops. They teach about this in Tantra also. There's something called Tantric Sex you might have heard of. It's not something kinky like you maybe thought it was. It's more like a scientific, really in-depth, yeah, look that up. Look that up on your own and let me know. Because my uncle told me about this years and years ago. He's a nutritionist and chiropractor, but so he goes to seminars and, you know, medical whatever events and stuff like that, because he's continuously learning. And he stumbled across a seminar on Tantra one time, and he told me about it. It was years and years ago, but he just tipped me off, and I looked into it a little. Actually, now that I talk about it, I should look into it more. But there's an energy flow in your body. That's what they're talking about, just like Tai Chi, just like martial arts, just like acupuncture. And there's a lot of different things that know about this, but trying to find a human being anymore that actually lives it, that is hard to find. That's why I'm making videos like this. I mean, usually the people like that are probably in a mountain somewhere, not necessarily on YouTube, but and I envy them. But I'll enjoy YouTube too while I'm doing it. So unlocking the heart chakra, what it does, I mentioned this the other day in a video about awakening, and it was like experiencing love for the first time. But it's not the kind of love, like I was saying, it's not the kind of love like hugging or kissing, or even it wasn't like lust or like you know, pheromones and all that. It wasn't like that, and it wasn't like the family love either. That's different than what I'm talking about. So it's more like, and it's such an intense feeling that I'm smiling even thinking about it. Attempting to explain it is like a long task for me to become a good enough communicator to explain this. I don't even know if I call it an experience, but to explain this so that it might help you. I'm not just, why am I telling you this? Well, I think my gut reaction to it was, everyone wants this. Everyone needs this and has been trying to get it. And the irony to that is, they're trying the wrong way. They're doing the wrong things. And this is where you get Christ versus Antichrist. Love versus evil. And this is the love, like the chakra love, not the relationship love. It's more like just a beam of energy. Like, have you ever just felt so good that you just like, heidi ho, neighbor. It's whatever. I was gonna do a Flanders, but I forgot even what it's been so long since I saw it. But have you ever just been so happy that you felt like Flanders from The Simpsons? I know it's rare sometimes in this stressful world we live in this day and age with constant harassment from advertising and bad people and bodily functions and everything else. We're being bombarded with all kinds of stimuli, like people commenting. By the way, Mario, thank you so much for sharing my video yesterday. I literally, Oakley Dokley, yeah, thank you. Oakley Dokley, oh my God. I'm turning into Flanders. No, I'm too cool to be Flanders. Anyway, Mario, thank you so much for sharing my video yesterday. I got the most views in one day I think I've ever gotten. No joke. You did that somehow. Amazing. I would have hired you a month ago. Good video to share. Wow. Yeah, that was my Alkaline vegan Snickers brownie video. But anyway, I just wanted to stop and thank Mario and say hi. So thank you so much for everyone commenting and everyone tuning in. I appreciate all of you for helping boost the channel. Wow, you rocked it though. I mean, I think it's because it's a third party sharing it. Like when I share my own videos, no one cares. But if someone else shares it, it's like, ooh, Alkaline brownie. It's funny how things work in life. So let's get back to the love versus evil. Because this is like a yin and yang, rotating. It's never resolving. It's always spinning like a chakra. A yin yang looks like a chakra, actually. There are drawings representing, like, actually each chakra has different number of petals, and I don't know, someone extremely advanced came up with that. Someone living in a mountain without distractions came up with that. So you can unlock these energy centers and experience true love. It's unconditional, like God is pouring out of your body and just pouring out like it's like you're a spigot and love is just pouring out effortlessly from you, and it's just like, oh, that there's a movie where maybe it was in Dogma, the Kevin Smith movie. I used to like that kind of stuff back in the day. I can't watch movies anymore. But in Dogma, when God, when God died in the hospital, if you've watched that movie, you know what I'm talking about. It was anyway, it's pretty blasphemous but so am I sometimes. Not on purpose, but when it's like, whoa, and it's like something is just, light is just bursting out of every pore in your body, especially right here, like a cannon. Whoosh, and it's just like, you're just kind of there. You're just kind of there in the middle of it. It's not like I did something, that's the weird thing. And that's what I'm going to talk about Christ and the Anointed One, is that, was I anointed? What in the world was that? It was crazy. And I didn't want it either. I want to add this to it too. That like, I don't want the at first, I didn't want the responsibility of actually, now that I mention this, I'm doing right now my purpose in life. You're witnessing it happening. And this is what self-actualization looks like right now. It's a little bit weird to be doing it publicly, but you're involved. Without you, it wouldn't be happening. And I know that that's weird and touchy-feely, but I'm not really a touchy-feely person. However, I am very tapped in to my feelings and other people's feelings. That's not always good. Usually it's terrible. I don't like that. I don't like reading your mind. I just want to mind my own business and play music. But I've been, I don't want to say I've been chosen because that's too cryptic, but I don't know a better word. I guess I was seeking it, but I didn't really know I didn't really know what I was getting into, kind of thing. It was like a child getting into something that they were told not to. And then they got into it, and then they realized, oops, there's a reason they told me not to do this, because there's a alligator biting my legs off or something. Just over-exaggeration. But that's kind of how I felt. Oh, I'm in too deep. I don't want to whatever it is that I'm doing now, helping people or whatever. People don't need helped. They need my foot in their butt. They need a boot kicking them. And I didn't want that responsibility at first. It took me years to finally accept my calling or whatever it is. Even still, yeah, I'm not, I'm at first I was kind of begrudgingly doing it, but that doesn't work. You have to do it. You just have to do it without expecting a reward. That is unlike different things in life. When you're growing up, you're trying to get your parents' attention, or you're trying to get a girlfriend, or you're trying to make money, or you're trying to get a record deal, or whatever. And it's exterior. It's outside of you. Most people never figure out what I stumbled upon, and I'm lucky in some ways. In some ways, nah. I don't feel lucky, but I'm lucky in some ways to have had that happen, where it blew my life up, basically. I can understand why Buddha, the Siddhartha, they say in Japanese, I don't know how to pronounce it in Siddhartha or something, but he was born in a royal family. He had everything he could get just given to him. He had, wives or maybe one wife and a child, and he had any riches or whatever, but something was wrong, and he got maybe a calling to leave the castle or to leave the family. And he left and went into the wilderness, and he was fasting. He was eating one hemp seed a day to survive. And finally someone came along with, like, I heard something like sheep milk or something, and brought him back to life. And then he had an enlightenment that it was from fasting. He was fasting and eating hemp seeds. And then he had an enlightenment about the moderation or something after that. Anyway, I'm not really Buddhist, so someone else would explain that better. But I have lived in Buddhist places, so I kind of, tried to find out what I could. But what I found out is that people don't know anything. I ask a lot of questions. Some people are fascinated by how am I a know-it-all and know all this different stuff. It's because I pretend like I don't know anything, suspend belief, and just ask questions. And that's what I did. I still ask questions off camera. And in these videos, I'm usually answering questions. But if you met me in real life, you wouldn't ever know that I would probably not be giving you advice in real life. I would be interrogating you about what you're doing. And that's how I learn a lot from people. That if you ask people about what they're passionate about, they'll dump it on you. Sometimes too much, and you have to... George Carlin had a thing where he said some people don't know how to end a conversation, and he has to do body language and go, surgery, I have to get my ears sewn shut. That's a hilarious one. But I find people like that dump information out, and I don't act like a know-it-all. I ask. But a lot of the times I'm disappointed, though, because of what I find out is that no one knows anything. What a shame. However, there are good people out there that you can find. They're just maybe in the minority, or hiding from narcissists, maybe. So what is the Antichrist then? If Christ is the anointed one, which is either anointed with the sacred oil, which might have gotten him killed. Apparently, only the certain religious leaders were allowed to anoint people. And Jesus was going around anointing everyone. And he got killed. So it's kind of like herbalists that get killed or jailed. And I'm not an herbalist, even though I have videos about herbs. I don't claim to be an herbalist because I'm just a person, and I don't want a title other than the Alkaline life coach that I made up. By the way, if you're looking for your dream job, just make it up. And yeah, it's not always that easy, but... So what is Antichrist if Christ is this, like, unconditional love that is here? That when he was telling people the kingdom of heaven is here now, well, I think I understand that. I think he's telling people that fasting and being anointed in herbs and healing all these people. And I've been scouring the Bible for evidence of any of this, and they mention the anointing oil over here, and then they mention something else over here, and it's like fragmented, scattered throughout in little bits, and they never really explain fasting, and they never really explain the anointing oil. I think because it was just common knowledge at that time, or they hijacked it, and I think the Romans did it. Changed everything. Duh. If you read Romans, it's like, wait a minute, what am I reading? This isn't the same story. This is totally hijacked. Anyway, I'm sure I offended a lot of people with that. So, but anyway, the Antichrist is anything that's going to block that circuit, that flow of energy, such as BS media, toxic food, lying people, hiding the truth. You can't hide the truth. It always finds you eventually. The truth will always come to light. You can't hide it. You can lie, you can hide, you can burn the books all you want, but you can't change physics. You can't change reality. You can change beliefs, and that's what they attempt to do. And I had a revelation about this, about the Antichrist. It's not the Antichrist, it's Antichrist. You see the difference? The Antichrist is some cartoon character that comes out and kills people, or something like that. That's not what it is. It's against anything that's going to block that flow of love. That's Antichrist. Anything that's going to make someone sick, that's Antichrist. What was Christ doing? Healing people. Remember that? No one ever talks about that anymore except me at the end of my videos. Because I wait till the end to mention it, because I think people will just not get it and tune out right away. Because I didn't used to get it, and it's offensive to some people for some reason. Cognitive dissonance. So what are the Christians doing? That part stumps me. Whatever modern day Christians are up to, what that has to do with Christ, I don't see it. I can't make a connection. The only thing, and it's grasping at straws, the only thing they still talk about that's any benefit is forgiveness. That's good, but what about fasting? Do any Christians fast anymore? None of the ones I know. I mean, I know that the people watching probably do, but not the, I know that the millennials call them normies, but I hate that word. But I find myself wanting to say that word because or some people say sheeple. That's another word for it. Normies or sheeple. Normple. Sheepies. I don't know. I'm trying to make my own word. The sheepies. We'll call them something. Usually I call them moron idiots, but that just sounds so cruel. Even though it isn't. It's the truth. But, even the moron idiots can experience heaven on earth. Even moron idiots can fast and become Christ. So the people don't know about that, and I feel like I'm the only person talking about it in the whole world right now. Although I know there are some here and there sprinkled around, but my point is not to change anyone's beliefs to mine or anything like that. I'm fine with everything. But my mission or my calling was to tell everyone. So I told you. Now I can feel some kind of satisfaction. Mario said, "Have you done a water fast?" I am right now. Can you tell by my edge? I feel so edgy when I am fasting. Like I'm right on the edge of happiness and ferociousness right now. If someone poked me the wrong way, I would shred. But I'm also happy at the same time. Does that make me crazy? No. That's what it's like to be a human with energy. I just think most people are so out of touch with it. What does a water fast consist for you? Shredding and making a video. I don't know what you mean. Water? Sea moss? Is that what you wanted to know? Sea moss? Bladderwrack? I mean, I'm sure. Oh, I'm drinking sarsaparilla tea. This is probably what's getting me high right now. This tea. Electric. Speaking of getting high, I should do a whole video about getting high. Do you just drink water and herbs? Pretty much. I'm not in the zone to, yeah, I mean, yeah, I wish they would, they forgot to explain it in the Bible. They just said, don't forget your fasting and praying. And the prayers would be affirmations. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I talked about, you know, and then, oh, I wanted to play an audio clip where, of Alan Watts. He was talking about good and evil, how it's like a yin and yang, and it's never ending, and one never defeats the other. And it has to keep going. So that, well, now I pretty much spoiled it, so I'll just explain it to you. So that you, in this sense, you can love the evil because it's necessary to keep going. And that blew my mind. So, and I've had this same epiphany several times, that to love Satan, but not in the way that that doesn't sound very good. Love him and then, well, not him. Satan's a her, by the way. Wink. But, I'm joking. Just offended 50% of my viewers. Actually, more women than men watch this, so I just offended 60%. I'm just trying to make this really heavy topic fun, because, you know, let's face it, all the stuff I talk about in my videos, most of it is brutal, and I'm trying to make it fun just for my own, it just makes sense, so that I can stand doing it. But the hard work, it's going inside usually. Everyone's looking for something out there, and they're forgetting what's in here. And, you know, people are trying to get love or happiness or anything else that I can air quote, but they're failing at it. And I can tell, and I used to watch people when I owned a restaurant, I would stand there just and watch the people, studying them, like I do. That makes people uncomfortable, but I don't stare at them with binoculars. I'm just paying attention. I'm just aware, and most people aren't used to it. But I'm aware of, I would see people, trying to hook up in the bar and trying to get laid or whatever, and people trying to find, have fun and find happiness and just going about it in the most destructive ways. And it's just, oh man, it was stumping me. That was right before I started my channel and really started doing this. I was wondering, why am I at another level? And why is my awareness, why am I noticing this and they're not? Like, what makes me a life coach and why can't they just do it themselves? That stumps me, actually. I always wondered when I was growing up, am I really that much smarter than other people? Because I was getting really good grades and whatever, and I seemed similar to my friends. Like, people were telling me, you're a leader, you're a blah, blah, blah. And I didn't want to be a leader. I wanted to cram it up there, whatever. And I hated that. And they went about it in such a bad way, though. Because I was in a crap hole area. So just now looking back on it, I can see, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. I'm unique, you could say. People call me different things, but I think it's good. I better, right? My clients think it's good. It gets good results. So it gets results. That's the thing about me. It gets results. So yeah, people criticize me all the time, nonstop. I'm different or whatever, but getting results. How is their BS working out? It isn't. So finally, I saw this too many times where I could predict what's going to happen to someone, and then it happened. And then after a certain age, I felt like just, okay, I should be consulting people because they're not getting it. And sometimes, in their defense, sometimes it's hard when it's yourself to see your own BS, to see your own habits going on. It takes a lot of self-reflection, meditation, stuff like that most people don't do. And I do that stuff all the time. And I think it's easy, but then I think everyone thinks it's easy, and then it's not. Just like I think the stretching, I like stretching, and I think the stretching is fun and easy, and then other people said, wow, that was hard, and I was surprised. So I was always being surprised at the lack of awareness where people are trying to get love or trying to get happiness, and they're just falling for every scam imaginable. Alcohol, it's going to kill you. There's no redeeming quality of alcohol. You really have to grasp at straws to, oh, it loosens you up a little. Yeah? Is that worth killing your body? I don't think so, but good luck. I don't want it around me personally. Keep it away, and the people that dabble, it's not doing anything good. And when I finally, and then by the time you find out that it doesn't give the consistent result, like, yeah, one time you have a really good time, and then the next time it doesn't happen again, and you're hooked. Unfortunately, I don't talk about that a lot on my channel, but I think it's a really big issue. I think I'm the only person I know that doesn't drink, other than my wife. Who do I know that doesn't drink? I can't think of anyone right now. That's crazy. And that's why I don't hang out with anyone. And that's why I'm starting 5 businesses and working 7 days a week. It's more fun than hanging out with a bunch of morons and having the same conversation over and over again. I've been a bartender. I've had every conversation, chit-chatting with people, and then, it's midnight, time for them to start verbally abusing me and stuff. So it's, don't put yourself in that position. I wouldn't recommend. I would disassociate with everyone that drinks, personally, and I know that I'm more blunt than, I'm not, that's not typical advice. Most people's advice would be, oh, everything in moderation. Oh, really? How about crack? How about heroin and crack in moderation? Because I have friends that died from that. How'd that work? Doesn't work. And yeah, Mario said many people can't enjoy themselves without alcohol. That's not enjoyment. That's my point. That's my very point of, they're trying to get love and connection. They can get it. I know how to get it. I've gotten it before. In fact, I'm kind of experiencing it right now a little bit. But I can't enjoy myself with alcohol because it doesn't deliver. It doesn't deliver results every time. Like one time, I don't know when, I might have had a good time. I might have acted crazy and made people laugh and been a fool. Well, yeah, is that really what people are wanting to do with their lives? I hate to sound pretentious, but it's about to happen. Oh man. So alcohol, sex, abusing sex. Sex has its place. I don't want to lump it with alcohol. Alcohol's always bad. Sex should be good, but is often abused by, I would say, probably 90% of people, just as a guess. Because people get in relationships for the wrong reasons. They abuse others, even physically and mentally and emotionally. Yeah. Also, yeah, I won't mention that. But they get indebted or like hooked in this trap of caring what other people think. So, I can't break up because then people will think blah, blah, blah. Or, so-and-so is a total whatever, and I can't leave them because of blah, 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 blah. That there's all these little, that kind of rationalizing, that's what keeps people fail failure. And it's from abusing natural things and going after things the wrong way and not following, hello, well, I don't blame people for not believing the Bible because half of it seems like it was added later. And when I say half, I mean all of what gets talked about in pop culture. Anything in the newspaper, TV, radio, anything like that about religion in any facet is the worst part of it. They never talk about fasting. They only talk about Santa Claus. Wait a minute. I've got 3 Bibles over there. Different translations. I can't find Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny anywhere in there. And like, I'm laughing, but that wasn't supposed to be a joke. Can't find it in there. Where did it come from? Who came up with that? I call BS on it. And Christians that eat meat, that stumps me. Christians that don't fast, eat meat, don't forgive, and kill. They kill animals, they pollute, and they don't love their children, and they abuse drugs. That's what we've got in this pop culture. That's the state of disgust that I have for it. But I usually stick to the positive message and not the negative part of it. So let's try to flip it back around. And what is the positive to remember good versus evil? One of them never wins. It's a constant circle. Plants commented, by the way, cool name, and thanks for commenting. There's no different than Pharisees. Refresh my memory, if you will, be so kind, on what the Pharisees did. I forget some names and stuff like that. I remember, were they the people that were coming to Jesus and accusing him of doing it wrong, basically? Like, hey, why are your disciples, or why are the people, your crew that you're hanging out with, why aren't they washing their hands before they eat? That was in the Bible. And the people would come to him and say, hey, why are you hanging out with prostitutes and tax collectors? And Jesus was like, those are the people that needed help. In parentheses, you doofus. That's what the Bible was constantly like. Is that how I was reading it recently, it was like people were constantly harassing Jesus and accusing him for claiming to be something he wasn't. And I never saw in there where he claimed to be born of a virgin, by the way. I never saw that in there, ever. So what was that all about? He was going from city to city healing people and anointing people, which was apparently illegal. Very interesting. So certain herbs are illegal unless you have a special license. Oh, interesting. That kind of reminds me of what's still going on right now. So are the same people in power? Mic drop. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. I felt like if I had a mic, I would have just dropped it. So it's weird what's going on to me when I look at the fake matrix of propaganda that comes in the mail, or when I see sometimes, most of it I've cut out of my life. And that's not being like an ostrich and burying my head in the sand. I'm more aware than most of the people I come across. Not everyone. And I'm not competing with them. I'm just, that's what I've noticed at least. But I'm not trying to bury my head in the, like when I say to stop watching the news, stop reading the newspaper. Stop watching the news. And people say, oh, how are you gonna what? How are you gonna what? How am I gonna know if it's raining or not? How am I gonna know if someone's shooting up the neighborhood? I'm gonna hear it. Same way that the other people found out. You know, did the people getting, attacked or whatever the newspaper's focusing on, did they get the warning from the media first? No. They're just telling you everything bad. Mario knows. He said news and media is all nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense. It's purposeful. It's Antichrist. It's purposefully Antichrist. And that's not anti-Jesus. That's anti what I was explaining earlier. So if you tuned in late, you might have missed the first 30 minutes of what in the world I was talking about. Where love is, it's not, and again, I keep having to, I wish there was another word for it, and maybe there is. Other languages have different words for some of this more like spiritual or deep philosophical kind of language. My English, anyway, is very direct, and like I grew up, where I grew up, the people there, I'm influenced, of course, by where I grew up. The people there are very argumentative. Oh, what a shocker. Are very chatty and also strange sometimes. Stranger than me, actually. I mean, they think I'm strange, but I think they're strange. I think I'm normal. I mean, I'm natural, which is strange it's not unnatural. It's strange, it's unnatural. It seems unnatural to be natural in this artificial world. In the Matrix, the natural looks artificial. So that's why sometimes some of the things I say shock people that aren't down the rabbit hole already. So I prefer only talking to people on my channel that already know, they've already got that far. I don't have to handhold, baby step with everyone all the way. It's going to take 20 years. My 12-week program would be a 20-year program for a lot of people. I try to find people that have already clicked and that are ready to finally change. That's few and far between. So, but they do exist. And keep up the good fight for good. The way we can fight back against evil and continue the righteous battle is to keep raising your awareness, keep getting healthier physically, raise your awareness, get healthier physically. Let's see, what else is there? I think everything else will figure itself out if you do those two things. But I mean, relationships are hard for a lot of people, but you don't need them. All you need is yourself. You have it already. Congratulations. You have everything you need. That's what no one else is telling you. Everyone else is telling you, you need my thing. Look, you need my thing. And yeah, I'm selling stuff too, but I believe in being honest. And yeah, you don't need my, for example, for the people that are new to my channel, I'm referring to my 12-week program. Yeah, I'm selling it, but I'm not hard selling it because actually I kind of don't want any more clients. I mean, it's hard. It's not fun. It's not how to have the most fun ever program. It's how to change your life program, which is not fun. It's fun after. It's fun after in hindsight, and it looks easy in hindsight, like, oh, that was actually quick. Like, for example, my newest client, in less than a week, I think, in less than a week, he lost weight and his blood pressure went down in a matter of a couple days. And he was like mind blown. And it's, so for the people that are actually ready right now, that is a pleasure to deal with them, actually. It makes it fun because they did the right thing and got the result right away. Now they know it works. Now I don't have to convince them it works, and their life is probably already changed just from that living it yourself, and no one can pay for that. So like technically you can't buy health. Yeah, I have a program that I sell, but you have to do it. And you could do it without my program, but yeah, do it. Good, go for it. I mean, it'll take years probably. It took me years, and oof. If I were to go back, I would have taken a program or something. Like, you know, the AA 12-week, the 12-step program. I was thinking of that, you know, part of when I was making it, I wanted it to model the good parts about that. However, I didn't use that to quit drinking, even though maybe I should have, I don't know. But there are ways to quit drinking that have a higher percentage success rate than AA. Oh man, it's something illegal. I read about this, that AA, I forgot the success percentage of AA. Maybe it's for how many years someone stays clean or whatever they call it. But there are other things that get much better of a result, actually. And those things are illegal. Interesting. Seems like the people that sell alcohol are making the laws. Oh. Did I just say that? If I was making the laws, oh no. I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there. I would change everything. Change it all. No more hybrid food. No more hybrid food. No more alcohol. There, just cured the world. No more killing animals unless they're attacking you. Self-defense. Yeah, same with humans. An animal is a human. A human is an animal. I mean, not all animals are humans. I said that wrong. Humans are animals. Animals, why do we somehow think Oh, it's because that one quote in the Bible in Romans where they said that, well, is that where they said it? That man has dominion over the animals? I don't think that means to kill them and eat them. Wow. What a interpretation. Mario said, it feels good to give out good information and be able to help others in doing the right thing. It's hard to get good information. Most of the health info is all lies. That's my same experience. Yeah, that's what I found out too. How many doctors did I go to when I was sick? How many of them cured me? Huh. Wait, I cured myself? I'm not a doctor though. How did I do that? Fascinating. Scam! 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 In business, if you pay for something and they don't deliver results, you get your money back. When's the last time someone went to their doctor and demanded their money back and fired them? That's what I want to know. Why is there this weird, sick worship relationship with people and their dumb moron doctor? I mean, I'm trying to tell people you're equal to anyone on the planet. You're equal to the richest man in the world. I don't want to say their names because they'll change next week. But anyway, you're equal to them. You're equal to them just like one chipmunk is equal to another chipmunk, or a chipmunk is equal to a person. I know a lot of people would definitely not agree with that. That would freak some people out. Oh man. I can see it now. I've had this argument before 100 times. Before I stopped arguing with people, when I used to still argue with people. Back in the day. The 20s and teens. The 20s are just a extension of the teens, really. If you're a man, your brain doesn't mature until you're like 27. Or, 27, 28. And no one really explained that to me, but it happened to me. And I felt it happening. I felt it really happening. It was really interesting. I was changing like a second puberty, kind of. Like that's the actual becoming a man, is when you turn 30. When you're 18, you're just a man-sized child for the most part. And even me, I mean, I had a high IQ then, but I was not, my brain hadn't matured yet. So it was possible for me to solve complex, puzzles, but not the things that your brain maturity gives you, like clarity of vision, clarity of thinking, awareness, rationality. What are the other things that well, some of our emotion comes from our brain, but most of it comes from our gut. I think that I'm going to wrap up the video at this point. I went way longer than I thought. I just saw the time on Mario's comment. Oops. Alrighty then. Well, this was just something that I needed to just get off my chest. And actually, that's pretty much what my videos are. I'm selfishly doing them for myself because I just need to tell someone. And I tried telling everyone else. They didn't deserve it. And I wanted to tell people that we're actually going to get some use out of it. That, that would actually not have cognitive dissonance right away and just dismiss anything that they don't agree with. Because, hey, you can disagree with everything I say. I'm still okay. You're still okay, right? No problem. I don't mind disagreeing with people, but they mind. they mind, and but whatever, I'm doing it anyway. I mean, I was watching a video with Jack Welch. He was the CEO of GM, and he was like the leadership expert. I've heard about him and read his quotes and stuff like that, but I don't think I'd ever seen actually his face, like a live interview or anything, until like yesterday or this week. Wow, recommend, very much recommended. He doesn't look well. He's no longer living, I don't think. But I wouldn't listen to him about health. But I would, everything else. Everything he says about business and management and everything like that is, I've learned the hard way from 15 years of doing business. And wow, it's nice to see that. I'm gonna get his books, and I don't recommend reading all the business books out there. I recommend finding like key books and then reading it several times rather than reading everything that, there's so much BS out there, even in books. I have a whole bookshelf over here, and most of it is great that I've read front to back more than once. If I can't read it all the way through, like usually my rule used to be, if I can't make it through the first chapter, I'm not reading it. And I like that rule, and it served me well. That it keeps me reading, and other people don't read because they think reading sucks or is boring. Well, there's good stuff out there. But yeah, I mean, don't read instead of working. Reading is not work. Reading is just like sharpening the axe. You don't sharpen the axe all day. You sharpen the axe and it's sharp. Now you go work. So there you go. Read with a purpose. Read with a pencil and underline. I learned this from a billionaire I saw actually speaking at, he was speaking at a church 3 days in a row, like 10 years ago. And I don't know how I found out about that. I went every day and it was awesome. He used to be illiterate. When he was 26, he didn't know how to write or read. And he was like a bricklayer or something like that. He ended up owning the most real estate out of anyone in Australia. He owned the most. He owned like more land than Texas or something crazy. Like, what? How can... So, and he was actually... I'm similar. Like, he has that whatever that enthusiasm that people say I have, he had that. He was ripping on people too. It was at a church and he was just bashing the modern Christians. And I was like, whoa, he's saying it? He's saying that in a church? Oh man, he said it. But he was a devout Christian, so he felt like he needs to say that. And yeah, I get it now, especially. But he talked about how he reads 8 books a day, and without being confused or forgetting any of it. And he said that at the first day. He said, if you come back on the last day, I'll tell you how I read 8 books a day. And that was his hook. That was his marketing hook. Oh, I think he was selling a program, or he was selling like a box set of books or something. And I didn't buy it because I had no money. That was like, I don't know when that was, 10, 15 years ago. But wow, he was awesome. What was that guy's name? I'll think of it later. Do you want to know how to read 8 books at a time without forgetting it, without getting confused? I should make you stick around to the next video. That would be a really good marketing hook though for a video. Ooh, in fact, I might end this live and then start a live again and call it How to Read 8 Books a Day. That's clickbait as can be. That will get my channel, that will get my video clicked. That's clickbaity AF. But anyway, I am going to end this video. It's been an hour and a half, and I have talked too much, given you too much info for one day. I'm sure you will forget 90% of it because I studied memory in university. So you would have to rewatch this several times to remember. Mario asked how we can help the channel. Mario, why can't everyone be like Mario? Mario is the dream subscriber. Just keep being you, and thank you. I mean, if you, whatever group you shared that in, I don't know what you did. It got 200 views in 24 hours. That is pretty good. That is really good. Actually, I've only, yeah, I think that was the best, that most views I've ever had, if I'm not mistaken. So whatever that was, do it again. I mean, I don't know if you'll annoy those people, but if you can just, you know, don't overload them, but whatever that was, you know, when the time feels right again, when it's not too spammy, you know, don't spam anyone with my stuff, but if it's relevant, hey, Facebook Alkaline group and your Facebook, awesome. Wow, jeez, good work. It had 30 shares. Oh, that's what happened. Epic. Some of those people are probably watching this. Welcome. Thank you if you just came from that. Wow, that's awesome. I appreciate that. 6 years of work on this channel, and Mario puts me to shame by sharing one video. Oh man. But I also think it's because, and that knocked me over 2,000, by the way. I got 50 subscribers overnight. I've never done that before, I think. I don't think so. Good work, Mario. Thank you. Oh man, and you're paying for some of my meal? I'm gonna publicly praise you right now. As some of you might know, I'm going to visit, there's some Alkaline restaurants in Chicago, and Mario's the one that told me about one of them, and he's paying for some of my feast. Everyone's comment, thank you, Mario, in the comments right now. Because, I mean, what? I've met so many bad people in my life, and for someone like you to just help for no reason, you know, just to support, that's rare. You are a rarity, my friend. You would probably make a woman very happy if you're not already, or whatever. I'm not allowed to talk about genders anymore. Uh-oh. I'll do what I want. Anyway, I'll assume everyone is straight, even though they're not. I'm sorry. It's just, there's a psychological principle. What is it? Projection, where you assume people are doing what you're doing. So that's why a lot of gay people, men, assume that I'm gay. I don't know. Probably because I'm so beautiful. All right. I don't know where this video is going. I'm fasting and I'm... God bless you, Mario. Yes. Thank you, Ingris, for changing the subject. God bless you, Mario. Namaste and every other word. Becoming alkaline, Mario said, becoming alkaline has definitely made a positive change in my life. I appreciate anyone sharing alkaline information. I feel that. Okay, yeah, I mean, I get it. I appreciate that, and that's pretty much exactly how I feel. So that's great. Like-minded. That's what you call a mastermind alliance. It's when two or more people get together. This is from Think and Grow Rich. When two or more people get together in a spirit of harmony for a worthwhile goal. That's a mastermind principle. And it creates a being. Like it creates a third. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = infinity. Because when you mastermind, like we're doing right now, where I made the video, that was most of the work. But, you know, my channel was kind of, the last couple weeks, it was kind of like, I've been pumping out 5 videos a week, and it seems like my subscribers were, the new incoming ones were kind of going down, the engagement was going down, and it was like, wait a minute, what? That doesn't make sense. So I mentioned that in the video yesterday or something, that I was frustrated that my thumbnails weren't getting a good click-through rate. Then Mario took the ball and ran a touchdown, and it was like, oh, I could just do that all day long. I could just I could just be the quarterback and have people hitting it out of the park. What do you do for a living, Mario? I want to chat with you sometime. Just if you don't feel like sharing it publicly, or if I asked you already and don't remember, you don't have to share. But I'm signing out for the 40th time. Love from Atlanta, says Diego. Nice to see you again. It's been a little while, I think, since you've been on live, but it's a familiar face, a familiar ID, user ID, anyway. I'm thinking about coming to Atlanta to, isn't there someone that makes alkaline pizza? And I heard that other restaurant that someone said was alkaline, and then I looked at their menu. I was like, this is not alkaline. What are you talking about? And then someone, probably Mario, told me that they can make it alkaline if you specially tell them. So I was like, ooh, that is an option I never thought of. You know, that's how businesses used to work back in the day. You know, you make a special request and they try to make the customer happy. And that everything became a chain, and the employee just stares at you and goes, I can't do that. I don't know how. You know how it is. All right, I'm signing out. It's been long. It's been a good video. Oh my God, yes, the food studio. Maybe I won't sign out. We just keep having good stuff coming up, so I don't want to. Oh my God, yes, the food studio? Wait a minute. I'm just taking a screenshot. Doraville, an international food hub. Food studio. All right, cool. I'm gonna go check it out, maybe in the winter or something, since it's nice and moist down there. How do you like Atlanta? Do you recommend, as far as like the living there or anything like that? I don't think I've asked anyone. I did. The singer in my old band was from Atlanta, but she obviously didn't like it because she was living on that island I was on. Food Prep Inc. is the company for food space sharing. Oh, whoa. Food space sharing? So you mean I could go there and cook? Is that what you are talking about? I want to eat other people's alkaline food. I'm already eating my own food. I can cook my own food here. It has mild 4-season weather. Oh, really? So there's a mild winter? Huh. Many different kitchens you can rent. Ooh, interesting. I want to do an event. I was wanting to do it kind of locally, closer to where I'm at, but there's a decent. Mario said he's definitely hoping to visit Atlanta, and I hear there's a decent alkaline community there. If we can somehow synchronize our trips and go at the same time, you can be in the video. That would be fun. I've been wanting to have like a feast with you, with the subscribers. I want to have a big table and have random subscribers. I mean, Mr. Beast does that. If you've ever heard, I mean, he's popular these days. You've probably seen his thumbnails at the very least. But he has videos where like he goes and eats like $100,000 steak or something like that. He invites subscribers to be in the video. And of course, I mean, that he's got millions of subscribers, so it's more, you know, they'll be more excited, but at least I want to do that same idea, even though my channel is not, the fame part of it is not the mix. It's all about the food. North corner side of Atlanta. Interesting. All right, cool. I wonder what it's like there. I don't think I've ever been to Georgia. But I would definitely check it out. And if it was tropical, I would like it better, but that's fine. There's a lot of good music that comes out of Atlanta. Oh, yeah. Wow. If I was going to start a music career again when I retire as a life coach, and I might go somewhere with a music scene. That doesn't, do live shows even exist anymore, or is it illegal? Is it illegal unless you're drunk? Illegal unless you have a beer and a vaccine. All right, anyway, I better stop there. See you next time. Thank you so much, Mario. You rock. Everyone thank Mario for helping my channel. And I got like 50 subscribers and the hundreds of views from one share. Or I don't know how many times you shared it, actually. How many times did you share that? So I really appreciate that. That's amazing. Great work. And as a team, we're doing better. So maybe I'll hire you to work on my channel when it becomes monetized. That's wishful thinking. I don't know. They're probably only going to pay me like $50 or something, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you. I'm getting paid spiritually. One group and your page. Wow, powerful, powerful group. Well, if you feel like doing that again, sometime when you think, maybe in a couple days. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you, Ingris. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Diego. Thank you to Plants, of course. Thank you, Michelle. And anyone else, thank you, Falah. And thank you, anyone else that's watching in the shadows. I appreciate you as well. And we have several people watching right now. I think the later I go, it goes into the time zones, the other time zones in the West, and more people tune in. And then I'm just like finally signing out when tons of people are watching. So, well, not tons, but more than before. Everyone have an amazing evening on purpose. Remember, it's not just going to randomly happen. You're going to have to actually do something to get it. That being said, watch my video tomorrow and say thank you to Mario for me. As a team, we're rocketing the channel, and it's definitely a group effort. So I'll do my part and make more videos. See you then. Peace.